Hey there. Thank you so much for being here today. My name is Anna, and today's class is for when you are feeling a little bit short on time but still want to run through a sequence of simple movements to really help you feel mobile. I would recommend that you have a block for today. If you don't have one, you won't necessarily need it, so don't worry about it. But let's go ahead and start off on our backs. And if you have your block here, it's going to take the block between your thighs here, and then place your hands on your thighs. The arms are going to be straight. Begin to lengthen your tailbone forward toward your heels, and then use your glutes to lift yourself up here. And just start to check in with your breath. Beginning to breathe in and out through your nose. Just feel that movement of the rib cage with the breath. And then keep your big toe mounds pushing down into the floor. And we're just going to begin to lift and lower your heels. And keeping the glutes active, pelvis steady. And then as you're moving the feet, you can take your arms, reach them up toward the ceilings, fingers turn back, and then take the right hand to the left fingers and just begin to pull them back. And then switching hands, left hand pulls the right fingers back. And let the heels stay down on the floor here. You can let your arms come down, and then we'll just slowly lower one vertebra at a time. Come all the way back down. You can take that block, place it off to the side, and take your feet wide on your mat. And we're going to let the knees fall over to the right, and keep kind of the sole of that left foot pushing down into the floor there. You can open your arms into a goalpost. Bring the knees back up and take them over to the left. Maybe think about pushing into the sole of your right foot. Back up through center one more time over to the right. And through center one more time to the left. Bring your knees back up through center. We'll roll over to your side and meet up in a tabletop. So shoulders are right over your wrist, hips are right over your knees, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And we'll just start to do a slow kind of segmental cat and cow. So begin to turn your tailbone up toward the ceiling a bit, softening the belly just a little bit, so we're not kind of sagging all the way down into the lower back there. And then soften the mid-back, space between the shoulder blades. You can lift your gaze there. And then let's reverse that. Drop your head in your gaze, lift between the shoulder blades. Lift in the middle back, the lower back, so really lift up in your belly there. Feel your tailbone now kind of almost tuck underneath you a bit. And then let's do that one more time. So tailbone starts to lift up a bit, belly softens just a little. Soften the mid-back. Upper back between the shoulder blades. Keep your arms straight. You can lift your gaze. And then let the head drop. Lift between the shoulder blades, the middle back, the lower back, and then feel the tailbone kind of turn down toward the floor. And then we'll come back through neutral here. And still pushing into the root of that second finger. Keep the arms nice and straight. Lift between the shoulder blades. And then pike your hips up toward the ceiling. So imagine here in these hip creases, like we're trying to send that really, really high up toward the ceiling. Keep hugging in the ribs. Keep lifting in the armpits and the forearms. The shoulders are supported. And then we'll just start to pedal out the feet and the legs in your down dog. Nice. And then come back through neutral. You can always be on the toes, bending the knees. We'll just start to walk your hands and your feet as far forward as you can. And then rise all the way up to stand at the front here. Awesome. So you can have your blocks in front of you if you like. Otherwise, bring the arms forward and up. Big inhale. Exhale, hinge back into the hips. Spine is long, plant the hands. Let's step the right foot back and lower the knee. Come onto the top of your foot there. So we've got this half kneeling position with the right hip directly over the knee. Feel that right glute active. And we'll just start to roll in the shoulders. And feel the movement also in the shoulder blades on your back. We're just releasing anything feels a little bit stuck, rigid. Letting the ribs move a little bit with that, but we're keeping that pelvis steady. Bring your hands back down, floor or blocks, and let's come into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up, bend your knee, and then we'll just start to circle in the right hip. So these are not going to be huge circles. We're keeping the belly lifted up and try not to move the pelvis. So switch directions there. But rather we're just moving in this big joint of the hip. Let's reach the right leg up again. Step it forward without picking up the hands. If the foot doesn't come all the way up, just grab a hold of it with the hand and help it along there. So we're going to keep the left hand down on the floor or a block. Hug this left shoulder blade down. And then lift the back knee, open up for a twist. You can always keep that left knee down if you need to. Keep packing that left shoulder down and keeping the left glute active. And just let your head relax there. Bring both hands down to the floor in front of you, and we'll step the left foot up next to the right. Rise to stand. Inhale, arms come forward and up. Exhale, sit back. Spine stays long. Left foot will step back. Lower the knee, come onto the top of the foot. Keep this left hip directly over the knee, and this left glute is active. We'll just start to roll in the shoulders again. And just feel how I can get some of this movement in the ribs, but I'm not moving in the pelvis. So we want to keep that level of stability and support so that we can actually create freedom in bigger ways. And we'll bring both hands down to blocks or to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Knees can be bent, hips are up. Left leg will lift up this time, bend the knee, and just start to circle in that left hip. So we're not turning in the pelvis, switching directions. You can really just put your brain right into that hip and imagine just within the joint, we're creating this circle. Left leg will reach straight up again. Step the foot as far forward as you can, keeping the hands on the floor. Right hand will be under the shoulder here. And then hug this right shoulder and the shoulder blade, kind of snuggle it down. And we'll lift the back knee. If you want to, open up for a twist. Feel the support of that right glute. Should feel like it's working there. We're leaning back into this right shoulder blade. You can just let your head relax there. Both hands come forward a bit to the floor of the blocks and step the right foot up next to the left. Let's come all the way down to a seat. And we'll end up on your back again here. Grab a hold of your block. We're going to take the block on its highest setting over to the right side in line with your right hip. Now bring the left leg across. We're going to set the knee or the thigh, wherever it feels natural. Set that right on the block. And the right knee, the bottom knee, is going to be bent here. So we're pulling it up a little bit in toward your belly. You can always have something underneath your head if you like here. Let's have the arms over to the right, and the fingers will be, the hands will be, the left hand will be on top of the right hand. And you can play around here, bringing the left arm across and over. It's opening up some space in the chest wall. If you want to kind of trace a little half circle over your head with the left arm, maybe do some circles there. Let's take a few moments here. Find what feels good. You could always just hold it open in a twist. And you can make your way onto your back, and we'll just switch sides there. So the block lines up with the left hip on the highest setting, and you can bring that right knee across onto the block. Bottom left knee will be bent. And then play around here. So you can stack the hands and maybe just open up across the chest. Maybe you do those little half circles. And making your way onto your back. I'm just settling into a comfortable position there, so you could have the knees bent, the feet on the floor, the legs straight. And if you want to have your arms out to the side, or maybe a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. I'm just taking a moment there to feel the effects of even a brief practice in your mental state. How you feel physically in your body. And how you feel in your spirit. Just allowing yourself to be more connected, more in tune with all of those systems as you head into whatever the rest of your day holds for you. And so as you're ready, you can roll over to your side. Thank you for practicing with me today. I hope you enjoyed this class. Please give it a thumbs up. You can hit subscribe so that you never miss classes that I post. And I hope to see you back soon.